Welcome to the Drew Messmer Show on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network. Join us each week as we go inside Forest Park basketball with head coach Drew Messmer. Now for the Drew Messmer Show on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosmer Communications.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
Hey everyone, Joey Chestnut here, world champion competitive eater. I follow Southwest Indiana Sports Network, and if you're hungry for sports, you should follow them too.
Follow the Southwest Indiana Sports Network at swisportsnetwork.com or search Roku for our channel at SW Indiana Sports Network.
Hello, welcome to the Drew Messmer Show. And Coach last week participated in the Bobcat of Davies County tournament, and also you last Wednesday you played Evansville Memorial. Why don't you kind of recap those games for us?
Yeah, so we knew going up to that tournament up at North Davies that it was certainly going to be a challenge for sure. Right off, right from the get-go, we're drawing number 2 in 3A North Davies, and they showed us how good they were. I mean, they started the first quarter 12 for 12 in the field, actually hit their next 2 shots in the fourth quarter, or in the second, to start the second quarter, sorry. And we were down like 40-13 in a hurry. I mean, in the blink of an eye, it was that, that wide of a margin, but they're really, really good. Obviously they're led by Jalen Mullen, who's going to Oakland City, really, really good player, been around a long time. He knows how to play. That's just all there is to it. I would even be willing to say he didn't give us, because he didn't have to, he didn't give us his best effort, and he scored 29 points. So he can just, he can get wherever he wants on the floor. A couple different times he shot the basketball and it hit the rim in 3 different spots and dropped in, and that just tells you how good of a shooter he is. I mean, his touch is soft, and he's impressive. They've got a couple of sets of brothers that they got the Wilson twins, and they got the Stickles brothers, and they're really, they're just really long and athletic, and they could hit shots. So we battled, for being down 33-9 after the first quarter. We came back and won the second quarter by 4 points, and we also won the fourth quarter, I believe. So, some positives to take away from that for sure, that our guys didn't just lay down. They kept competing, kept fighting. I just told them the biggest thing was they got to see championship-level execution and championship-level effort, championship-level teammates. Those guys, they've been there, done that, winning a state title. So just getting to see how hard they cut, setting guys up, how they, pass the basketball, and the crispness that they play with. Was really good for our guys to see that. So, that is pretty wide margin. We lost by 26, 74-48, but, they battled. Turned around the next day. We were supposed to play that afternoon. Should have been a 5:30 tip. Should have been a 5 o'clock tip, sorry. And with the snow coming in, we had an 11:30 start. So, we're getting back from playing a 6:30 game the night before, an hour and 15 minutes away on a bus ride, get home at 9:30-ish, probably 9:30, 9:45, and have to turn around and we're back in the gym by, I think, 8:45 the next day, so we could leave at 9:15 to get up there to play. Paoli, I believe they were undefeated until they lost to South Knox in the first round. So they were 4-1 at the time when we played them. We were leading at halftime, played pretty well. Honestly, we played a good game. We just shot 33% from the field. And that's, that's always going to be a struggle when you shoot that low of a percentage. They've got a sophomore guard that I watched last year play against us in Fletcher Cole, and he had 23 points on us. I thought he hit some tough shots, and he's a really good player. In order for us to be successful, we've got to hit shots, and we can't consistently be letting other teams play, best players score, a high number by any means. So, that game was really back and forth. We lost the third quarter 18-6, just took some bad shots, and us being a young team, I think that translated onto the defensive end, and that was the margin that we lost by was 12 to those guys. The snow comes in, so don't practice Friday, don't practice that. Well, our game was delayed Friday to Tuesday, so we don't practice Friday. We get a little bit more snow on Monday, so we're off, no practice there. So 4 days without basketball, load back up on the bus or meet 30 minutes before, I guess. Maybe it's a fortunate thing. We played in the consolation game against Lagodi, who we had played previously. So, the benefit of that obviously is we're familiar with their personnel. We've already walked through their stuff. We didn't even really have to pull out the scouting report folder. We could stand there and walk through what we walked through just a couple weeks before. The game really went. I want to say it went the same as before, but that game was 61-56, and this one they ended up knocking us off 41-38. But just our defensive effort was much better. Our execution was much better. Just same deal. We just didn't hit shots. I mean, we shot right around 35% in that game, and it's just really tough. These guys are young kids, but I just tell them really how it is, and I tell them we're going to be as good as what our best players are, and if guys step up and they shoot 5 for 19 from the field or whatever, it's going to make for a long day. So, I think that the other positive with coming out of that tournament is I feel like our guys are really they're starting to click. They're starting to hang out, starting to have each other's backs and things like that. So that's what that tournament does to you when you got to go up there 3 times in a row, play really quality competition. I told them, I said, you guys will either absolutely hate each other or you guys will become a team. That's the only way this goes. And I knew them being the kids that they are, they were going to respond in a positive way. So I think it really brought them together, and we're just, it seems like we're just one thing away from the game. So we're working towards, becoming a pretty good team, I think. Of course, then we play Lagodi. On that Tuesday and Wednesday. We play Memorial on a back-to-back. So Memorial is really, really good. I think they were 27th in single-class poll here this week. So played those guys, really, really competitively until about 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. I think we were down, I want to say 50-47. And, really, I thought our guys playing the second game of a back-to-back, I think we just kind of wore down in the fourth quarter. Played very, very back-and-forth game for about 22, 23 minutes, and they just keep coming. They've got 7 dudes that can really play. They have a sophomore that was Player of the Week this week in District 3, Luke Elsterman. He had 38 points, which is a Beekler Arena gym record on 15 of 21 shooting. So that kid can really play. And, he had a few where we blew some ball screen coverages and whatever, which he made you pay every time, but he hit a lot of tough shots along the way as well. So he just, he's a really good player. But as I said just a little bit ago, we've got to find a way to where when a guy's averaging 25, we got to hold him under his average, not give up 50% more than what he's averaging. So we're definitely battling there too. Proud of our guys for, against North Davies, we come out and we're down to a team that's I'd say they're comparable, Memorial and North Davies. We come out and we're down 24 points at the end of the first quarter to North Davies and respond one week later and play a team, just as good, and we're battling all the way through three quarters. So I think that kind of shows some of the growth and some confidence that our guys are gaining through this. So, had a guy from the Ferdinand News ask me if, what's the mental state of our locker room right now. And I told him, I said, we might be 2-7, but I'll be honest, I think that our kids are more together. They're better teammates. They understand how hard they have to play, and their confidence is at a spot where it's not been all year. So I think that they're, I think they're right there and ready to take the next step for us, which is just executing a little better, which will result in win.
And the regular season matters, but what really matters is the tournament, and playing teams like North Davies, Paoli, Lagodi, and Evansville Memorial in basically a 7-day span has got to get you ready for a tournament.
There's no question. I mean, we talk about that all the time. What's our goal? Is our goal to win 15 games this year, our goal is to win the second. And we knew from the get-go, we knew this first 9-game stretch was going to be really, really hard. I mean, whatever our record was really wasn't important to me, wasn't important to our staff. It was, are we getting better? And there's no question, from what we're seeing that our kids they are getting better. And now that they know how hard to play, like I said, they're learning how to play together and all that stuff. It allows us to focus on execution and practice instead of, some of the immature stuff that young teams have to go through to understand how hard they need to play and all that stuff. So definitely always have our sights on March.
And you're listening to the Drew Messmer Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Bros for Communications. We'll be back right after these messages from our sponsors.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
At MAD, we believe in zero. Zero fathers who aren't there for bedtime. Zero mothers who miss the first day of school. Zero children who never come home. We believe in zero victims of drunk driving. With MAD, your support adds up to zero. Because we believe in a hug on the first day of school. We believe in another bedtime story. We believe in no more victims. We believe in zero.
Hey everyone, Joey Chestnut here, world champion competitive eater. I follow Southwest Indiana Sports Network, and if you're hungry for sports, you should follow them too.
Follow the Southwest Indiana Sports Network at swisportsnetwork.com or search Roku for our channel at SW Indiana Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Drew Messmer Show. And Coach, we're talking to Forest Park assistant coach Kyle Schlachter. Kyle, why don't you kind of fill us in on what you've done in the past as far as where you work and your coaching experience as well.
So the past 5 years, I was in Spencer, Indiana. I was coaching 7th grade, 8th grade, and then my last year, the 5th year, was on high school staff as a freshman coach. And then when Coach Messmer got the job here in Ferdinand and the teaching position opened up relatively at the same time, for math, which is what I teach, it was kind of a no-brainer to come back and work for them. So that's where I'm here at now.
And you're a past Forest Park alum, basketball-wise? Yeah,
so Coach Messmer and myself graduated the same year, been best friends since elementary school.
And I tease Coach Messmer. I said, with Winkler and Lusk and et cetera, I said, is it a prerequisite that you have to play for Forest Park to be a coach there?
It seems like that. Our entire staff is exclusively Forest Park grads, I believe. So it seems like that's a prereq.
And we were talking a little bit before we got started, and you think you're helping out Phil Winkler on the JV squad?
Yes.
And how's the JV done so far this year?
So far, they just have one loss. We lost the second part of a doubleheader in the JV tourney, so we've been pretty pleased with their success and everything they've been able to accomplish this season so far.
And and being the assistant coach, you also deal with varsity. How do you feel like the varsity season has been so far?
From the outside view, it's kind of tough to tell. Being at the point right now, 2-7, but being there with them every day, and you see what we're preaching from a coaching staff standpoint, and then seeing it start to be executed, you can tell there's progress being made. So we just want to be the best we can by March. That's what matters the most.
And this week, you'll have a doubleheader. You'll be at home against Mount Vernon. Then you'll be traveling down to Perry Central. And JV wise and varsity wise, how do you feel about those games? Give us a little preview of those games.
So the JV end, we've already had a matchup against Perry Central, so I know that they're going to be really hungry, to get the revenge on us because we came out on top in the JV tourney, and now we're on their home court. So I know that one's going to be one that we really got to be locked in. And this is classic. You can't look past Mount Vernon because Perry Central's a Saturday game, so we got to make sure we're focused for Mount Vernon and refocus. Whatever happens Friday night, we got to refocus and be ready to go on the road. I was just going to start talking to them varsity-wise. We dropped quite a few in a row here, so more than ever, we need to make sure we are locked in, and we need to come away with 2 wins, build some confidence back up, and get things rolling in the right way because we're about 2 months out now from when we need to be playing our best basketball, so we got to start getting things going in the right direction.
It seemed like at the beginning of the season, at least, you were road warriors, and so you'll get to go back to Big Clear Arena hopefully in the new year.
Yeah, I think our schedule's a little odd, it's very front-loaded with road games, and having our holiday tourney be a pretty long drive at North Davies. I mean, we're just happy to start having some home games and play in front of our home crowd and showing them what we're capable of.
Well, Coach, good luck this rest of the season.
All right, thank you.
And you've been listening to the Drew Messmer Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, hired by Milligan Brothers for Communications. We'll be back right after the messages from our sponsors.
At MAD, we believe in zero. 0 fathers who aren't there for bedtime. 0 mothers who miss the first day of school. 0 children who never come home. We believe in 0 victims of drunk driving. With MAD, your support adds up to 0. Because we believe in a hug on the first day of school. We believe in another bedtime story. We believe in no more victims. We believe in 0.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
When you think sporting goods, think no further than All Star Sports in Ferdinand. Custom embroidery, screen printing, team uniforms, sports equipment,
and sports apparel and shoes. We have it all. Give Brad a call today at 812-367-1618 or visit them in the Country Plaza Shopping Center in Ferdinand. All Star Sports is open Monday through Friday 10 to 7 and Saturday 9 to 4. All Star Sports, when you're thinking sporting goods.
Hey everyone, Joey Chestnut here, world champion competitive eater. I follow Southwest Indiana Sports Network, and if you're hungry for sports, you should follow them too.
Follow the Southwest Indiana Sports Network at SWISportsnetwork.com or search Roku for our channel at SW Indiana Sports Network.
And welcome back to the Messmer Show. And Coach, I'll tell you what, Kyle Schlachter, it's nice to get a coach like him, but it's also nice to get a guy that you've known since the second grade.
It's great to have Coach Schlachter on staff. He's a guy that I can fully trust. We were classmates, we were teammates. He was in my wedding. We roomed in college together for a little bit. So we've been through it all together. There's no doubt, and he's done an excellent job since he's been back here. Originally, kind of the plan was for him to be a volunteer varsity assistant, and then it became kind of apparent that he could add some stuff to our younger guys, and I think he really found a spot where Coach Atkins helps me, he helps Coach Winkler, and it's been a really good thing. He's a gym rat. He's a student of the game. He loves being around the guys, loves watching film. He really does everything that you could ask for an assistant coach. Doesn't hurt that he's 6'7" to go battle with the big guys. That's definitely a plus as well, that he can go show him some size and length. But he does a great job. He's a really positive guy, and our kids really love him.
And this weekend you've got Friday night and Saturday night affairs. Friday night you'll be at home against Mount Vernon, and Saturday you're going to be traveling down to Leopold to take on Perry Central. Why don't you preview both those games for us?
Yeah. So Mount Vernon, they're a dangerous team. They're led by their junior guard Nico Burnett. I think he got about 22 a game last year, and really, I've watched him as a freshman, a sophomore, on film as a junior, and really he was just a good athlete as a freshman. Last year he started hitting a few more shots, and now we have him down as a 38% 3-point shooter, so which is beyond respectable. With his athleticism, which he's probably, you could argue between the football field and basketball court, as a junior, he's the best athlete in the conference. If he's able to shoot the basketball on top of having the size and speed that he has, with his ball handling and his first step and all that, he is a really, really good player. So, as we talked about already in the first segment, we've got to show up and we've got to contain him. If he shows up and scores 33 points on it, we're going to be in trouble. And they've got a couple other kids that contribute as well. They got a Clowers kid that's a junior in the same class at 6'3", and he's able to put the ball in the hole. And they're a Mount Vernon team that is well coached. Coach Newcomb does a really nice job with them. It's good for them to have some consistency down there. I think this is third year, I want to say, maybe it's third or fourth year. So instead of having some change at the top, they're able to get some consistency and hear the terminology. And I think they're, I just think that they progressed each year that he's been there. So it's going to be a challenge. Fortunately for us, with all the traveling that we've done, that game is at home. So we're happy about that. And we just, we're hungry to get a home win. We're 0-2 in Beekler Arena, so that's definitely something that we want to change. As far as Perry Central goes, they're going to be very hungry to play us. There's no doubt. Similar to a team like Du Bois, that this is a really big game for both of us. We're not in the same county, but we're in the same sectional, and we always play, always competitive. Their gym will be packed. It'll be full. It'll be loud. It's just, it's going to be a really tough atmosphere. Coach Litherland's going to have his dudes jacked up, fired up to play. They play really hard. They apply really, really solid pressure on the basketball. They run their motion offense really well. I mean, if you fall asleep, you don't jump to the basketball, you don't, leave space for a down screen or what have you, that makes you pay. And they're pretty patient. They'll reverse the basketball a few times and they try to, really they just take open looks. So I look for that game to be nothing but a dogfight as well. I think it'd be huge for us confidence-wise to step up and win a couple games again, but they're going to have to go one game at a time, and we're going to have to play eight solid quarters. If we play 6 or 7 solid quarters, we're 1-1 or we're 0-2. I mean, that's just all there is to it. So there's really no gimmies on our schedule the rest of the way, but, the schedule is what it is, and we've got to, show that we're making the next step and climbing up the ladder the way that we need to, and, that starts by executing on Friday and Saturday nights. So we're looking forward to seeing what, where our guys are at after finally having about a full week of practice for the first time in a long, long time.
Well, Coach, good luck this weekend and go get 2 victories.
I appreciate it.
And you've been listening to the Drew Messmer Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Billy Broker Communications. We'll see you next week.
This is the most important, amazingest game ever played in the universe. The pitcher is fierce. Danny Roberts is up at bat. And the crowd goes wild. He just won the game. Let's go! Yes!
We protect the car you drive.
Go get him, Danny.
And the dreams that drive you. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.